Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the middle of the Scottish countryside. And once again, we're joined by the channel DJ here for this cool adventure. We really don't know exactly where we're going yet, but there could be some cool abandoned history down near the River Isla. And right now we're at the top of Glenisla here, and check this view out. It's absolutely incredible. We're hoping we can go down here and basically head around that way and just explore. You can what it's like on this channel, folks. It's spontaneous adventures, and yeah, we're taking YouTube along on the adventure with us. And this landscape I thought is worth showing you at the start of the video. This is crazy, folks. We're in the middle of this land here and we can see two people walking. We're just hoping that it's not the farmer. If it is the farmer, we're coming with the greatest respects, folks. We're literally just documenting any history on the hills here and having a nice countryside walk. And the land we're walking on here is just wild and unforgiving. And that's what we're all about here on this channel. Crazy adventures into unbeaten terrain here. Look at this, folks. This is an old abandoned historical wonder here on the hill, just behind Glenisla. And that obelisk that we were at a few months ago in the videos is over there on the hill. We're now at the top side of Glenisla from the obelisk. And check this out. I do apologise for the wind. Yeah, this has been a proper little settlement. A wee hoosey. Look at this, folks. I'll cover the camera from the wind a bit. I'll stand at this side. Look at this. This has been the front door. Then this would have been like their living room, or maybe it was a little sheep shed or something. But look, there's been another room out here. That's so cool, folks. This sort of house is probably from the 1700s or even earlier, maybe even the 1600s. Ancient history right here on the hill at Glenisla. Wow.
It might have something to do with that bit.
Yeah, that'll be their sheep field or something. Look at this, folks, this little row of stones here across the bog. The water just runs off this hill. It's maybe been something related to that old like farmstead in there that's abandoned from a time gone by. You never know what they were making back in the day. Like, they might have had a little dam for like a grinding wheel for grinding their grain. Look at this land here, folks. We're literally just exploring the countryside here through old fields and through forests. And yeah, some of the fences like definitely didn't stop the sheep anyway, for sure. The landscape in these places up Glenisla is just absolutely incredible. No way, there's a proper track here. Look at this here, folks. In this field, we're still walking along this hill from this direction, and in this field there's loads of these strange like mounds of stones, and there's no just one or two of them. There's literally like, I don't even know how many, 40 of them over this whole field. It's crazy, folks. Look, there's piles of stones there. So for some reason they've been built up like this. So who even knows what it is? Incredible old history of some sort, just on the wild hill. But yeah, we're going to keep on going until we get to that green forest way in the distance, beyond these dead trees in front of us. Right, folks, we've now turned around in the glen because we found no more abandoned history over there. In the future we might go further down the glen, but we're going to follow the Isla now back up. We're still on this same adventure, folks. We went down this little road and there's like a wee house and stuff there, but it looks like it's a wee holiday house or something. We were hoping the road would take us further round. Crazy adventures here, folks. We're almost back at the main road, folks, where I parked, where I started this video, and look at the view over Glenisla there. It's just an absolutely incredible landscape. Wow. Yeah. And we walked all the way around there today at the back of that hill. The wind is quite extreme here, but yeah, I'll update you once we're further up the hill. Right folks, we're now climbing this steep hill, and we have been for ages. After exploring Glenisla, we've seen bits of it today that we've never seen before. And yeah, we didn't see any incredible abandoned history, but it was still worth the adventure. Coming out and about sometimes in these places is just extreme, and to the landowners we always come with the greatest respect. We didn't break fences or walls or anything like that, we're just exploring the land. This gate's wide open though. Nothing to do with us. Countryside code, eh? You always close gates if they're shut. You just leave gates as you find them. Look at the clouds. Anyway folks, I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon in the next one. Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video when you once again join us in the middle of the Scottish countryside, and once again we're joined by Channel DJ out here, and today we're on the main road at Glenisla here, one of our favourite Scottish glens, because we noticed one of the last adventures we were on, we noticed there's an old war memorial here on the hill, and we thought we've never been there on a video, so we've come back today to check it out. So yeah, each one of these small areas in Scotland had their own war memorials dedicated to the people of the Glen that lost their life in the war. A lot of them went away to battle and they never came home, and it's good just to remember by visiting places like this and seeing the names and just imagining like the dark history of the war and stuff like that. Yeah. This path here is the bottom of the Catherine Trail folks, which is like a walking trail, 21 kilometres to the Spittal of Glen Sheet, which is a crazy walk that would be, and then it's half a mile up there to the Kirkton and the Glenisla. But here's the war memorial here.
So the ground started to roll the pole.
Folks, the gate onto the wild Scottish hill. The wind's blowing down here from the glen. And look at these little steps here. There's just a few steps, certain places leading up here. Wow, what a cool monument. We had never noticed this all our years of exploring Glenisla and stuff. But when we realised there was a memorial here, it was so cool to come and like record it, because we've had so many cool adventures in Glenisla this past year. Check it out folks. Yeah folks, so this is actually for the people who fell in the Great War, 1914 to 1919. 9 men there that lost their lives from the Glen. And it's incredible because people maybe from even like America and stuff might see the names of people they're related to from this area back in those days, like. Crazy folks. So this is literally World War One. I was wondering if it was maybe for both wars, World War Two as well. We explored a lot of World War like history and stuff, and this is actually a part of it as well. The Scottish men feel like way up here, even in these glens, that lost their lives in the wars. And yeah, that's an incredible bit of the history of the war. It's okay seeing the bunkers and stuff like that, but stuff like this is quite cool as well. They've probably used like stones off the hill here to make that. Even the cross is cool at the top. Anyway folks, check it out, look at this landscape that we're standing in here. I hear somebody up there must be cutting up a tree with a power saw. And I think literally like Loch Chandra and stuff just over there. So it is good to see this war memorial here at Glenisla. In November I was going to come to Glenisla and lay a poppy on the war memorial, but back then we thought that obelisk, which is at the other side of the glen here, we thought that was like a war memorial, but we were unsure. But actually once we got to it, it turned out to be a memorial to a different gentleman from the glen. But now we have found a war memorial here. And it doesn't matter what time of year it is, whether it's November or whenever, like we can still remember those who served our country in the war, lost their lives. And it's crazy to think they went for places like this, just like all over the world, to fight for the country. I can see a little cairn up on top of that hill there. The character of the land here, folks, though, is just incredible. Look at this ancient tree here, clinging on the side of the hill.
Literally clinging on its roots.
Yeah, it's a nice little spot they've picked here on this mound of ground. And I'm not sure if these steps have actually gone up the whole way at one time, or strange how they're just in sections. That was maybe the steepest bits.
I was going to say, yeah, the steep bits, I think.
So there you go, folks. Another bit of Scottish history, Glenisla history, documented on a video. And it wasn't actually a long mega walk like often we end up getting in so far into adventures, we walk so far. Today this was an easy one. So there we go, folks, we're back walking along the banks of the River Isla here. And yeah, it's been a short video, but it's been cool to see something new here. A little bit of history hidden in the hills in the Scottish Glen. But yeah, I'll end this one here. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll catch you very soon for the next adventure. Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the middle of the Scottish countryside. And once again we're joined by the channel DJ who's sheltering out of the wind there on the edge of the forest. Today we've come up the back of Kinnordy Loch to this abandoned farm. We have been here one time before, but it's all about the adventure, folks. Look at this wild landscape of Kinnordy Loch here. And this here used to actually be a little abandoned house, and you can see here where the front door was. And apparently there was kind of like a hermit guy lived here for years and years, like with no electricity or anything like that. I think he just kind of kept himself to himself, and then once he died the house just kind of went to ruin and then got knocked down. But it is crazy, this little house here is out at the edge of the loch. Years ago the water didn't come this close to the edge, whereas now you can see it, it's right here. But yeah, cool start to the video, folks. Little remains of an abandoned house. Just imagine that 1700s maybe, smoke coming out the chimney here and looking out the front window over the loch, which would have been further away back then, but it's crazy. Look at this, folks, in the forest here at Kinnordy Loch. Look, the beavers have been so busy. Look at all these bits they've chewed off with their big teeth. And then look, they've been felling the trees right through this forest, chawing into them. And then look at this one, this is just partially felled. That is crazy. Look at that, folks. And look at this rare phenomenon of wildlife. All the flies are sitting on the top of that tree. Those flies must be eating the sap for like a sugar. Crazy, folks. So that shows it's all the way wildlife works. The beavers are trying that down, and then the flies there are getting the sugar out of it. So one type of animal helps the other. But I cannot believe how the beavers have ravaged this bit of the forest. And then look, they've started on this tree here. Look at that, folks. It's almost like it's been on a lathe. That is crazy. Crazy wildlife on the channel this week, folks. Just shows you it's always something different. We're just sheltering in this forest here out of the worst of the winds. It is Scottish winter conditions today, and like, you never know how it's going to be, if it's going to be freezing cold or warm. Look at this, folks. This ancient wall here is the first evidence of civilization down here at this old abandoned farm. It's a cool spot down here. I think that's been a drain lid of some sort for over there. Yeah. I think this had been the garden for the house. Look at this, folks. There's piles of slate, maybe taking off some of the roofs, but I think there was stuff dumped here from all over the place at Kinnordy. Yeah. Kind of loads of different places or farms and stuff. This was just an area that took stuff. Yeah, that's the remains of the corner of a garden there, I think. Just think that shrub would have been tiny back then. Yeah. And look at it now, folks, it's massive. Look, you can see how this must have been a bit that came around and walked up that way. Yeah. You can see how it's all been laid. So much time has passed. Yeah. They've had like a little patio kind of stone bit here, I think. Crazy, folks. Little bits of history like that, it's so cool to see. It's so cool to uncover little layers of history for a time gone by. And then just imagine this when it was like a thriving farm. Wow, that's a big tree that's blowing down there. Yeah, I think you can get round the bottom here. Look, that old holly tree here has been flattened by that big tree. That's the crazy thing, folks, like these places are always changing every year because like storms and stuff knock them down and they can often get destroyed, and little videos like this is keeping the history alive of how it looked at one time. So cool to find and document all this hidden history, folks. Check this out. You can see how there's been a wall which must have led along the side of their garden at one time there. Now it's just all overgrown with these shrub-like bushes. Look at this, folks. This tree has come flying down here, smashing anything in its way. Wow. There you go, folks. That would have been looking into the building at one time. It is unusual how the window here has been adapted and changed at one time. From being a big window to being like a small one there. It's an interesting bit of history. And then you can see where the things have been attached onto the wall. Big metal bits sticking out up there above my head too. Could have been like a barn mill or any sort of bit of farm equipment. Check this out here. The old walls just stand the test of time. Certain bits of this today, the wind's just howling through. And look at this too. I love the character of this here with the old fire. Just imagine that crackling away back in the day. And look where the old beams have been up there. Oh, aye. Or is it? It could be stone. Yeah. It's crazy the way they make it with these like small stones as well as the big ones. It's crazy craftsmanship. And it is strange how this window looks like this. It's got that wall like that, but it's got a bigger window on the outside.
looks like it's maybe
It's like this whole wall here was a later addition than this one here.
yeah.
Crazy. And then I think there had been big sheds in the middle here, like cattle courts. And that ridge in the middle there had been where the boy would have walked up and down feeding them.
Right.
Look at that, folks. Kinnordy Loch over there. It's a crazy scene. Incredible landscape we're exploring once again. The adventure coming to these old abandoned sites is so cool. You often see things that you normally would never know or never see, like even those beaver trees back there. Like, if we hadn't been coming to see this abandoned farm, we would never see stuff like that. Look at that, folks. The old drain in the ground there, or whatever it was. See their sewage and stuff, it must have just pretty much gone into the loch. Seemingly there used to be an old track that took you across the loch somewhere around here, back in the days of this lochside farm. You can see slight remains of the cattle courts. Look at this, folks, this is where he would have walked along with his barra, pouring the food probably down here. The cows would be coming in about for a feed. But I think there must have been a roof over this bit at one time. But I think it could have been two-sided. A lot of these sheds was like that, so I'm not sure. There's still just massive chunks of cement and stuff lying about. And then that's an impressive old building, that, with old stones. See this bit at the side? I think it had a mill or something at one time. Somewhere. Because I think this bit here is older than the other bit. I think this bit here would be one of the oldest bits of the building on the site here at this farm. And then I don't know, see there's been vents bricked up at one time on the wall. Whoa, fighting through the long bushes, folks. Documenting history once again. And also you can see there's remains where there's been buildings going out that way. It's been a big setup. And then look at that, also two different hinges. There's been one here, and then also an older one there. Look at this, folks. This is a big shed. The walls is high. It's like it's been used as a garage or a tractor shed or something at later days. Yeah. So it shows you how much has come off the roof already. Like, that's been a lot higher. Oh, aye. Yeah, it's been burnt there on the lintel. Look at that, folks. There's been a catastrophic fire in here at one time.
Just at this side though, eh?
Look at it there though. That lintel is also charred. See something though? It might have been that they used to burn stuff in here. Yeah, there's been some ferocious fires in here. See,
yeah, these are alright, really.
I think there was some farm machinery. Oh, aye. That is strange how they're alright and the one below it's burnt, eh?
Yeah.
See out there, I think there was a piece of farm machinery mounted. And that's what these holes were all for. Kind of all these different sized holes.
Yeah.
I think this floor is probably a later addition as well, because it's in good condition, the floor here. You can make this into a shed probably with just a roof on it. Oi! Funny acoustics in here. Yeah, and it's had some repairs. Oh, aye, a massive latch, yeah. Look at those big hinges up there.
Yeah.
It's like it's had separate doors up at that height. Or that's maybe been the doors in a time gone by.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been repurposed, so like I would have been there when this got laid there.
Uh-huh. And we can see that wall has continued on at that time, like out that way. It's been a big farm in its day, like. And then out here is where there was a mechanism mounted. See, look at the big 4 threaded bits there where it must have bolted on.
Yeah. Some size of machine.
Yeah. This whole area here, I think, was something to do with this. And every year it's degrading and decaying. Look at this, folks. Look at the way this stone here is built. See, there's been a peaked roof on this as well.
Yeah.
But look at this. This is a strange setup. It's unusual, folks, the way that stone is there, like.
I think it was part of a building. Look.
Yeah, this whole area here was most likely roofed off then, eh? Yeah, and it looks like the ridge in the ground here.
Yeah.
But it looks like this roof has been peaked. But see, at a later date, that cement, there's a cement bit there which shows the roof must have gone right along.
Yeah.
So it's like from different eras of history, this. So compared to some of those other farms that we saw a couple of weeks ago and that in the video, folks, it's like this gives you an aspect of an even bigger farm of that era. And like you can see the walls actually bowing round there, starting to lean out. That is cool, folks. It's just thinking, like, imagine the era back when all this was put together, eh? It's just different times altogether now. Most farm sheds nowadays are just profile sheeting with steel frame. Gone are the days of a stone construction, almost like a castle. And these vents here were maybe if they had livestock in there over the winter, or I don't even know what else, maybe crops in there stored, keeping them dry. Then I think this wall leads up and around the perimeter here. See, there's a stone building over there as well in the middle. I'm not sure what that's been. It's flattened now, but it could have been a chicken coop or something even. So look at this, folks. This is another one of these piles of potentially it could have been dropped here, this, or it could have been a little building, outside building. Look at this old bucket. It's one of those old metalines. Enamel, is it? Cool old farm history right there, folks. I'll leave it as it was. Leave it to nature and time. Leave it for the next explorer to find. Maybe in 10 or 20 years it'll be even more decayed by then. That is proper stone there though. Some of the settings that these places are, it's just incredible. Oh look, there's more metal here. See, the thing is, it couldn't have been to anywhere, like I say, on the estates. It's been so long since this was a farm. Metal like that could have been an old bit of a machine or something. Or oh, there's little piles of stones. See, that would show more. It's probably been just a trailer load or something which has been dumped. It's cool though, folks. Little bits of history like that, even hidden just next to the loch and stuff. Look at this, folks. I think I noticed this last time I was here as well, but look, there's like an old cast iron wheel device or whatever. Must have been some bit of a machine. Looks like there's proper iron framework and stuff in there. Some old bits and bobs. It's all really like history of Kinnordy Estate. which has been around as long as the town of Kirriemuir, even longer. Crazy history, folks. And this is one side of it, the farming history. Abandoned farming history. Ken, this must have been a thriving farm right into the 1900s.
Aye, before the loch was...
Yeah, early 1900s. Look at that, folks, you can see how there's been something built on here at this end. So you can just imagine it's been a massive farm complex, even all the way along there where we started exploring and stuff. Maybe originally that wee house we first saw was like a farm worker's house too, related to this farm. But it's quite cool, there's still such big buildings left and that. Yeah, that's maybe been like a gate pillar at the edge of their field. Look at this, folks, the ancient concrete pillar here. This was maybe one of their fields. Their main fields, really. I wonder if they had fields at the other side before the loch came that close. I can see at the other side of the loch as well, folks, there's little bird huts. Kinnordy Loch, you can go and watch the birds with your binos not seen at the lookouts. We've probably scared away all the rare birds that we're looking for. It's an incredible scene here, folks, and once again we're blessed with the sunshine for this adventure. But yeah, we'll leave this little farm in peace. It's been cool to have a little walk about. Yeah, I'll end it here though. Thanks very much for watching. Tune in again soon for the next adventure. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll see you soon, folks.